Alright, I heard you need to create a health system in Unreal. This will make up of a health bar and a health pickup item. Here you can see the red health bar icon that I've created in Photoshop and a green health bar icon that I created in Photoshop. You'll need something like this for this system to work correctly. For this example, I'm clicking on Games, and then I'm clicking on the third person template to get this going. I'm going to change my project name to Move Power Up. Here is the default view of Unreal after creating the project. Go to your third-person folder in the content browser. Go into the Blueprints folder. Right-click to the user interface and select the widget blueprint. You can name the widget blueprint health bar. And when you double click to open this up, you're presented with this screen. This is the blueprinting system and the canvas area. Go ahead and add a canvas panel. Then add a progress bar and place it wherever you want. I'm going to place it down here. If I adjust the percentage value over to the right, you can see the progress bar updating with the percentage value. One is full health and 0 is no health. So 1 is 100%, 0 will be 0, nothing. So the green and the red health bar images that you have, either you've made them yourself or you've been provided with something like this. Go ahead and take those images and drag them into the content browser where your widget is located. I'm going to click and drag the red health bar image and place it over the background image under Style. And now I'm going to take the green bar and click and drag the image into the fill image location. And then just make sure to set them to draw as an image. And after you're done with that, just make sure to save and compile, located up at the top left here. So compile and save the health bar widget blueprint, and you will get rid of the asterisks that appear. That is a good thing. So now we need to get this to function or appear in our gameplay camera. So I'm gonna double click in the BP third person character. BP just stands for blueprint. We're shortening that down to BP. We don't want a long name on our little files. So after I double click that, you can see that this is your blueprint workspace area. And I need to add a create widget user interface system on the BP third person character. Click on class and find your health bar widget blueprint to add it. Click and hold from the event begin play output and plug that output into the input of the create health bar widget that you just created. Now left click and hold from the output of the create health bar widget and add to viewport. You want to set the target to this return value from create health bar widget into the add to viewport. And now when I hit play, you can see this functional health bar that's located here. Okay, now we need to create some variables for our health system. We need to create a new variable, and I'm going to make this a float value and name it health. So after I've created my health variable over here on the left hand side, you'll see that variable pop up on the right, and the default value is set to 0. I don't want it set to 0. I want it set to 100. After setting this to 100, I'm going to compile and save this third person character blueprint to make sure I save my work. I'm going to create a button press that subtracts 10 from the health bar. When I press the F key, it should subtract 10 and print out into the viewport. I don't want that value to go into the negatives, I don't want it to go below 0. So I'm going to make a clamp and set the maximum to 100 and the minimum to 0 and return that value to health. Now if I press the F key, you'll see the values in the top left go from 0 to 100. Now I want to link my health bar to the widget we created. I'm going to double click on the health bar widget and go to progress, and then to the percent section and click on bind and create a binding. So we want to cast this to our third person character. We want to get our player controller. Now we want to get our health system. We want to get health. Let's try dividing this by 100. And we want to return that value here. Again, the reason why we have to divide this by 100 is the health value is from 0 to 100, but the value to the progress bar is 0 to 1. So we just have to divide it by 100 to make it compatible. I will trade this player controller out for get player character, as it is a third person character. I'm going to just go ahead and delete this player controller. Now when we compile it, we do not receive an error, and I'm just going to go ahead and save. And now I'm going to go ahead and hit play in my editor. And after I hit play, you are taken to the back of your player character. My mouse controls the camera. And now if I hit the F key, I am getting a return value. If you can see the value drop in the health bar, 20, 10, and 0. So now I want to create a bar or some type of system in which you take damage from an object. So let's just go ahead and do that now. What I want to do is I want to just right click in the empty space here, go to blueprint class, and I'm going to create an actor class. Click on that, and now I have a blueprint actor. I'm going to double click on this blueprint actor class here. I'm going to click on this add button right here, and if I do that, I'm going to go down to cube, and I'm just going to hit enter. It will be named cube. As you can see in the scale, it's 1x, 1y, and 1z. I'm just going to scale this down a bit. I'm just going to scale this out, and now I have a kind of a rectangle instead of cube. So now I want to add some collision. We need a collider to hit with the player character. I'm just going to select my box collision, and I'm just going to scale because I want that rectangular collision. Let's just say I want this thing to spin around. I'm going to search for a rotating movement modifier. I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to hit compile, and I'm going to save. I'm just going to save all, and then I'm going to drag this blueprint actor class into my level to drag this into our map. I'm going to just put it just above this ground plane here. Let's just drag it in front of the player character over here. So when I load, I'm looking directly at it. I'm going to hit play, looking directly at the box that is spinning. So now we want to add some logic to the collider. So when the player character hits the collider here, we want it to subtract a value from the health bar. On component begin overlap right here on the events, we're going to click on the plus sign, and it's going to add an on component begin overlap. So we want to cast this to our third person character. Cast to third person character, our blueprint system, and our other actor goes into the object section there. As the third person character here, I want to get health. So we're getting the health variable. I want to subtract 10 from the health each time it collides with the player. So I want to set health. I want to subtract, and let's just do the same value of 10. And I want to do the same thing where I want to add a clamp modifier. Let's do a clamp float so the value does not go below 100. So if I double click there, type in 100, it shouldn't go below a 0. And I'm just going to put the return value into our health there, and I'm going to drag my executable action into my set variable here. I'm going to compile and save. So now I have my collision with this on overlap, cast to third person character. We're targeting the health. We're subtracting 10 from the health with every collision, and we don't want that value to go below 0. Well, let's just minimize this, and then I will minimize this, and I will hit play. And when I make my player character collide with that collision, you should see my health bar start dropping. Boop. Every time you collide with it, it will subtract a value. Let's say we want our character to gain health. That means we need to do the same type of system. We need to right click, go into the blueprint class, click on that, click on the actor class, and then we're just going to call this health pickup, and we're going to double click in there, and then we're just going to make like a little health icon. So I'm going to click on add here, go to cube. It is a perfect rectangle. So if I scale this down, just go ahead and I'm going to right click on this cube, and I'm going to duplicate this guy. So now it's called cube 1 because I duplicated it. I'm going to hit the E key here, and I'm going to rotate this at a 90-degree. And now we kind of have our health kind of logo there. Click on that, disable snapping. Go back, I'm going to hit R for scale, and I'm just going to scale this down health icon. Let's see, let's scale this to 0.15 as well. I'm going to click on this and scale that down to 0.15. Compile, I'm going to save. And let's just go ahead and add another rotation value to that. Rotational modifier. I'm going to type in rotation, rotating movement. Let's see, we may need to, I think that should be okay. Compile and save. Let's just go ahead and drag that out. There, it does look like the health icon there is rotating or spinning. Now I want to add some functionality to this, just like I did with the health. I'm going to go ahead and add something unique to this health pickup, and that is a material. If I right click in my empty space here, still under this blueprints folder, I'm going to go up to material, and let's just say I'm going to name this green emiss. E-M-I-S, short for emissive. I'm just going to shorten that down. Green emiss. Hit enter. I'm going to double click this for my emissive material. So we can add in like a base color. We can add in metallic, specularity, roughness, anisotrophic, and emissive color. I'm right clicking into empty space and I'm looking for constant 3 vector. So as you can see here, 0, 0, 0. If I go over here to my details, if I go to constant and I click on this little menu system here, pull down, you can see R, G, and B, that stands for red, green, and blue. I can type in values, but what I can also do is click right here in this black bar, and then I can go and drag this down to green. And then I'm going to drag the complete value into my emissive color. And when I do that, you see your little preview window pop up with this green emissive. Double click on my health pickup. Do that, I go back to my health pickup section here. However, in my details panel, you see that nothing is showing up. That's because I need to specify my cubes. Those are my pieces of geometry. So if I click on cube 1, I do have a materials section here. I can go back to my content browser. I can click and drag, and as I do that, you see the under materials, under element 0, you can see that it's highlighting in blue, kind of telling you, hey, this material functions in this blue space. So I'm just gonna move my little hand cursor over there and release, and there you go. And you can see off in the viewport that actor blueprint there with this information. It is now changed to a green emissive. I'm going to select my duplicated cube, which is called cube 1, and I'm going to do the same thing. You can see the floor here on the shadow that it does have a green kind of glow to it, and it will rotate when I hit play. So when our third-person character collides with this actor, we need it to function. So I'm going to type in collider. I'm going to hit box collision, and then I'm going to turn on my snapping again, and I'm just going to scale so my box kind of encompasses the 2 pieces of geometry there. I'm going to compile and save. And so now I want to do the same thing that I did with the rectangular damage actor. Viewport, I'm going to click on box, and then make sure on component begin overlap, and we're going to add in some functionality for this to work. To your rectangular damage section here, we can click and drag under this whole system or this whole blueprint graph we have. I'm going to hit Control C, go back to my health pickup, and I'm going to hit Control V, and that will paste my blueprint graph into here. I'm just going to make my executable action connections again, make sure overlap component is on the object, and instead of subtract, we're going to delete the subtraction, and we're going to put an addition operator, and we'll just put in, we'll double click in here, put a value of 10, and then we'll just drop this under the value. When we overlap this health pickup, we don't want it to stay there. We want it to just disappear. So we're gonna, after we overlap with it, it's gonna give us a value of +10 to our health bar, and then at the end here we're going to destroy this actor. Compile. And we do have an error here. Sorry, we don't want overlap component, we want other actor to go into the object. Let's compile again, and we do not get an error, so that's good. And then we're going to save, press the green play button here. Okay, and now we're in our little game level here. We're in control of our player character. We have full health, as you can see on the bottom left. If I walk over to this object, I collide with it and I take damage. Now, if I walk over the health pickup, I gain the value of 10. How can I gain more health? Well, I can either change the value of this actor blueprint, or hold down Alt and click and drag, and I can duplicate this object. So now when I hit play, I'm back into my player viewport here. We moved the little health icons over there. Okay, when we take damage, we hit this bar, we take damage, and then when we walk over to our green pickup, we pick up a value of 10, and we pick up another value of 10. I've got multiple objects that will damage you, and I've got 6 health pickup objects that will heal you. So I can hit play, and as you can see, I've got 6 health pickups that are rotating, and I've got 3 damage rectangles there. Not sure what to call those. 3 damage objects, and I can hit that, take damage, and well, I need some health. My health bar is low. I can walk over that, pick that up, pick that up, pick that up. There we go. Pick that up and pick that up. There we go.